My name is Kelsey Toole, and I didn't believe that God could love me as much as He does. At the beginning of my junior year in high school, I was at what I believed to be the lowest point in my whole entire life. I had no idea who I was anymore, and I felt like I was completely disconnected from the person that I always believed that I was. I was overcome with so much fear and anxiety, and I just began to go into a downward spiral of negative thoughts and panic, and I was the most disconnected from God that I ever felt like I had been before. And I felt like I didn't deserve His love anymore, that I had traveled way too far away from Him, and that there was no way that He could love me anymore and want me back. However, I did have a group of incredible people in my life that kind of pointed me in His direction and reminded me that He did love me, and that no matter what I was feeling or what I was thinking, no matter what I did, He's always going to love me, and He's always going to welcome me back. And I'm so grateful for that, because without that, I would probably be in that same exact place right now. But I've gotten better. I've turned my direction back towards Him, and I've started to believe that He does love me, and I've woken up every morning with a purpose to show His love. And I'm so grateful for those people that were in my life, because even though I do still feel anxious every now and then, and I am never perfect, and I never fully believe everything is good about myself, and I do have some trouble having faith, I'm grateful for the people that were in my life, because they did point me back to Him. And I do truly believe now that no matter how far I wander or what I think about myself, God loves me through all of that. I doubted that the way that I thought of myself would ever change. As a teenager, I struggled a lot with feelings of inadequacy, and I compared myself to pretty much everyone around me. And these still happen a lot. I'm still struggling a lot with this, but for a long time, these took over the majority of my headspace, and I just began to fall down this downward spiral again that just consisted of so much worry and doubt and self-criticism. And as many of you have probably experienced, this made it really hard for me to be truly happy. And most of the time, I was just anxious and worried and was never really looking at the good things that happened in my life. However, I did learn to turn these thoughts over to God, and as hard as that sounds, and as many times as you might hear this in your life, that is truly the only answer, because He doesn't want us to have these thoughts. That's why He's there, for us to cast these thoughts on Him. And I found I'm still never perfect, and I still do have a lot of anxiety and anxious thoughts, but I found that in order for myself to find true happiness and true satisfaction, I have to turn to God, because I will never be truly happy if I look for acceptance in things of this world or the people around me, because this world is not supposed to satisfy us. Our satisfaction should come from above. And one verse that really helps me kind of put all of this in perspective is 1 Peter 5:7, which says, "Cast all of your anxieties on Him because He cares for you." And every time I just read those words, they bring me so much comfort and peace, just knowing that I have someone to cast these thoughts on, and that it's not just left to me. I'm not alone in this. I have the Creator of the universe on my side. My perspective changed when I let go of the past. I've always been someone whose mind is 10 years ahead of what's going on in the present. So thinking about the past and my failures and where I've kind of fallen short has always terrified me. I'm always wondering what could have happened if I did something differently, or if someone else would have done something differently. But as much as I worry about these things and ponder upon what could have happened, nothing ever changes. And that's been a really hard lesson for me to learn, because I want to have control over things. We all do. It's human nature, but it's really hard for me to just let go of where I've messed up. And I've really struggled with this. I've always wanted to have control over my surroundings, but that's where I've learned to trust God. Instead of waking up every morning hating myself and wondering how things could be different and what I could have done differently, I've instead began waking up with one purpose, and that is to glorify God. This has not only changed how I view myself, but it's also changed how I talk to and interact with other people. I feel like I've become a much more positive person, and instead of just worrying about what I'm doing and how this can affect my future and that I'm gonna regret this, I've started to live in the moment and be happy with where I am right now, because I can't control the past and the future is ahead of me, so I should just focus on where I am right now and glorify God with whatever I do, whatever I say, and just know that God has a plan for me that is so much greater than anything I could ever imagine for myself, and I've just found so much peace in that.